guys, and happy 2024. This is so exciting. We are in a brand new year. I put a lot of thought into what kind of video I wanted to make for the new year, and I thought this would be appropriate because these things are already on my mind and it would just be kind of fun to share them. Some of these things I have been doing already, and then I'm just wanting to grow in them and keep doing them. And then others are new, and I have a desire to implement them into my life as this year starts. So, here we go. Have more grace for myself. So I used to think that it was not enough for me just to care about other people, but I needed to prove to them how much I cared. And I felt like if I couldn't do that, that I was failing at caring for them. This is both exhausting and impossible. And it also feels very selfless when you're doing it, but it's actually just this masked fear of what people think. And it is not wrong to care about what people think about you. The Bible does say we should desire a good name before God and man, but when we are crippled by it and we obsess over it and it influences who we are, how we interact with people, and value it more than like what God says about us, it's not just a care, it's a very deep-rooted fear, and it's a fear of man. And I've been working on this and have found a lot of freedom and plan to continue to grow on this as it is a journey. It's easy to talk about it, it's hard to live it. So this is a daily decision for me to break out of this. I never really thought about it majority of my life because it was so embedded into how I thought, but I'm grateful that I'm aware of it now because I have people that love me and pointed it out that this is not healthy, and I do not plan on imparting that to my daughter. I will be working through it and make sure that her mother is fueled by fear of God and not fear of man. So that is that one. Started off on a deep note, of course, so it can't be a surprise to y'all by now. But okay, second thing is be in silence more. I did a video about this actually. I think it was my third video. If you're curious about this concept, then I would just encourage you to go back and watch it because I talked a lot about the why behind that, my struggle with like overstimulation and anxiety and why I started prioritizing this. But yeah, this came from me just needing to eliminate noise in my life. And now I just drive in quiet or cook in quiet or whatever, moments where maybe I would just be listening to music or podcasts. If I'm feeling a little anxious, I will just like check in with myself and be in silence, and that is something that I love. The next thing is work out more sustainably for my life. So I love exercising. I love moving my body. I was a dancer all growing up, and then as I got older, I would just keep trying to cram into my life the way that I did it before I was married and before I had a child, and I would just like stay up way too late and would be frustrated if I couldn't, exercise for how long that I wanted to, whatever. And then I learned like I need to learn how to honor my season that I'm in and not fight against it. So working out shouldn't be this thing that you just like forever hate. I get like when we start it can be difficult, but just honoring your season and finding a way that you can enjoy exercising. It is supposed to change and evolve depending on what season that you are in. I'm just trying to see how many times I can possibly say the word season in this video, I guess. But working out has been a part of my life, like 4 to 5 days a week for the past like 14 years. I did the math. So I know that sounds excessive, but I could do a whole video on this because it was really a journey for me. But currently what it looks like now is 20 minutes in my basement with my yoga mat and my little weights, and I set a timer and I don't check my phone during that time, and I stay focused and I push myself, and then when that timer is up, that is my time, and it's time to go and shower and be with my husband, and like that's my boundary. I got my time in, and like I'm not gonna obsess over it, and that has been amazing for my life. The next thing, take a few outdoor walks a week. There is something about getting outside in fresh air, even yes, when it is frigid outside for like 10 minutes, okay? Fresh air is good for you. Walking in nature is good for you, or whatever. If it's down a sidewalk in a city, I've had seasons like that too. It's good for your brain. It's good for your senses to experience something other than your living room and your workplace, okay? This one is short and sweet. It's a great way to clear your mind and relieve stress, and it's free. Okay, next thing is declutter your house small bits at a time. I think sometimes this concept of decluttering can be overwhelming because you're like, okay, I need a whole weekend. I gotta order all this cute stuff from Amazon. And if that's how you want to do it, that is sweet. I've done that too. But you could also live a life of just being aware of when you come across something in your house that's taking up space, or you just don't use it anymore. Into a garbage bag it goes, and when that bag fills up, we take it to donate. And when you just like, I'm gonna live this way, your house is less cluttered, and you can actually find the things then that you like in your house, and you can just breathe. I don't know, I might be a nerd, but that's something that I've been doing, and it's great. I used to be like the most nostalgic person. I still am, but like my memories live inside of my brain, not like in the shirt that I was wearing when that happened. You know what I mean? So that's that one. Number 7, I think we're on, using my Bible instead of my phone as a pastime. So this one is something that is new. I just heard it in a podcast like a week ago. This girl said that she has a young baby and that she does not currently have the time to sit down and study her Bible the way she wants, but she has it open on her counter in her kitchen, and when she's like doing random things, waiting for something to cook, or her kid's like entertained for that moment, she'll just like read a couple verses and kind of treat it like this is my pastime instead of opening Instagram 50 times a day. And I'm like, that's kind of genius. I've never thought about it before. And so I've been trying it and I really love it. And it's kind of like you're just leisurely chewing on the word and you're reading it really slowly and just like a verse or two at a time. And I plan to keep on doing that and just see like how it goes. So there's that one. And the next one, prep for the next day. So I like to eliminate decision making when it is morning time. So for me, this looks like the coffee's made, my work bag is packed if it's a work day, my computer is charged, my water bottle is filled up. Like sometimes I will even put all my work stuff in my car, like so I don't have to lug my kid and all my work crap myself, because it's just a lot. And I don't want to be frustrated at my daughter. So just having everything prepared that I can think of is something that sets me up for success the next day. And the second to last is no phone time right when you wake up or right before you go to bed. Not to say I've always been great at it, but there's just something about what is the first thing you set your eyes on when you wake up, when you begin a new day, and what is the last thing that you think about before you go to bed. Maybe for you, it's not a big deal, but for me, if I'm fixing my eyes in the morning on Instagram or my work email, or even just like sometimes catching up on text messages, like first thing when I wake up, I'm not even out of bed yet, I'm stressed. Like I just don't feel peaceful about that day. Then my mind is just like jump started. And so are there times where I go to bed early, or like I do lay in bed and just like play on Pinterest or whatever? Absolutely. There are so times where I do this, but I guess as a general rule, I try to not. And then the last one, of course, we're going to end on a little bit of a deep note, okay? This one is a lot less like measurable, but it is releasing myself from being Superwoman. This sounds funny, but it's actually something deep, okay? This one is basically just accepting that we cannot do it all. And it's not because you're not good enough, and it doesn't mean that you are not trying hard enough in something, and it doesn't mean that you just suck at whatever you can't master. It means that you simply cannot do it all, because you are human, and something just needs to be set down, perhaps permanently or maybe just temporarily. This takes humility to be able to say that I'm struggling and something needs to give. And this is pretty similar to the first thing that we talked about with having grace for yourself, but I just thought it was worth sharing as well, because that's another thing that I have been uprooting out of my life. Or Jesus, rather, has been uprooting out of my life. So that is all of the things that I wanted to share with you guys in this first video of 2024. So I hope that was encouraging to you, gave you some ideas of things that just could be helpful for some of the goals you may have, whatever. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Bye.